Alright, so I'm going to be replacing the motherboard or logic board on this 3rd generation Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon. Alright, so first thing we're going to use is a PH1 or JIS1 screwdriver. Alright, so just remove all the screws. Alright, so it looks like the screws actually stay in place in the cover, so don't have to worry about them. Let's see if all the screws are like that. Looks like it. Alright, if this video helps you, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can also learn how to upgrade and repair their devices. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. These are customer computers, so I won't have them by the time you see this video. So keep that in mind. I won't be able to show other things. But I'll try and point out what I can and what I see. Alright, so first thing, let's go ahead after removing the cover is to remove the battery. Okay, let's go ahead and actually remove the screws holding it in place. Again, we are going to keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that, I put them flat side down like this on my desk. In the pattern, I remove them. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws on the battery, it looks like. So let's go ahead and remove those 5 screws and again put them in the pattern you remove them, so that way you can put them back the same way you got them. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue removing. If you're wondering, the battery model number here is a, let's see, so there's multiple model numbers here. So you can actually look them up. If you see, these are the model numbers. There's the ASM part number and FRU part number. I don't know what each means, but yeah, I don't know if there's another special part number here, but that's what I see. Okay, and then you kind of just look for one that looks like the same size, shape, and everything. Okay, let's go ahead and finish removing these screws. Alright, hopefully there's nothing holding this down. Oops, I removed one of the wrong screws here, so I actually removed this speaker screw, but I need to remove the battery screw. Okay, make sure you remove the right screws. Okay, so the screws are coming out. There we go. Alright, so now we got all the battery screws out. Let's see if we can lift it up. You want to be careful here. We are going to have to disconnect the cable for it, of course. Alright, so now that we got it, you can see it's loose. Let's go ahead and disconnect the cable. So to do that, let me actually zoom in a bit. So to disconnect the cable, I use my fingernails at the wings of the connector and I kind of just wiggle it like this. And as you can see, it walks its way out. Then we can go ahead and lift the battery back up and pull that out. Okay, just like this. And there we go. There's the battery. So we're going to set that aside. Alright, so now we need to continue removing all the parts. So let me show you here what the motherboard looks like. So this is the replacement motherboard. So here you can see all the connectors that are involved. There's the fan. You got that connector up there. I don't know if that's not even connected to anything, right? You got all these connectors up here. There's a whole bunch. Connector down here. You got all these ports here for the SSDs, wireless cards, everything. So we're just going to have to remove all of that and transfer everything over. So let's see here. First thing, let's go ahead and disconnect this cable. Let me actually zoom in here. We're going to work from left to right, and hopefully that will be easy for you guys to follow. If you want, you can actually go ahead and remove the screws at the same time. So let's actually do that. We're going to go left to right, removing screws and connectors as we go. Oh, one thing to do after disconnecting the battery, let's do that first, is open up the computer, and then you want to press and hold the power button for about 15 seconds to drain any residual power. Alright, make sure the button is being pressed. I actually don't feel a click on this button, so hopefully it's not a power button issue with this, but we'll press and hold that about 15 seconds. Alright. I think on this their charge light doesn't come on either, so hopefully it's just the motherboard issue. Okay, so okay, it does feel a little bit clicky. Right, so we'll close that up and let's go ahead and continue removing the screws and the connectors. All right, so we're going to remove this screw first. The motherboard came with the fan and everything, so we're just going to leave that alone. Alright, we're going to remove this screw next. The CPU is soldered to the motherboard, if you're wondering. Alright, and this USB port is replaceable. Fingerprint sensor, USB port is replaceable. Fingerprint sensor connects over here and goes over there. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue. Sorry about that. I just figured I'd point out everything. Alright, so to pop up that connector, I go opposite corners and I just lift it up just like that. Here you can see this connector is held in with some tape, so we're going to peel this adhesive up. Alright, you want to just roll the adhesive back just like this. Okay, there we go. We can go ahead and flip this latch up and we can actually pop this connector out. Just kind of grab it and pull it back. Alright, we got there's another connector here. I'm not sure what that is. It looks like it might be a keyboard backlight, but I might be wrong. Maybe that's the power button connector. Alright, let's flip this latch. Oops, there's a little tab here, so lift that up out of the way, flip that latch, and then you can use that clear tab to kind of wiggle and pull this back. You might have to pull it up slightly so that the wings here clear the raised plastic mounts. Alright, there's another screw over here, so let's go ahead and remove that as well. Alright. Alright, there's a little connector down here as well, and I'm not sure where that's going to. I think it's for the fingerprint sensor. I'm going to flip that latch up, and again, same thing, pull it up slightly, and then pull it back. There we go. Alright, we got this connector next over here. Flip that latch up, and then same thing, kind of just wiggle it, pull it up slightly, wiggle it, and pull it back. There we go. Alright, then we got this connector here. Flip that latch up. Once we get the motherboard out, we'll probably figure out what these are, but LCD, LVDS, I don't know. Actually, this is the LCD, LVDS connector, this wider one. We're going to flip that latch up. Alright, same thing. Grab that, wiggle, pull it back. Alright, we're going to pull out the SSD here. I don't think we need to remove the other screws. Does the replacement motherboard have that screw? Yes, it does. Okay, so we're going to leave that screw as is. We are going to have to peel up these antennas to get them out of the way. Okay, so there's tape underneath or holding all of these, so we're going to peel this up as well. The SSD is a M.2 SATA SSD. I don't know if it supports M.2 PCIe NVMe. If you want to try it, let us know how it goes. Post in the comment section, and if you figure it out, I will pin your comment to the top. Alright, so we're going to remove these blue and orange wires here. Just pull them out of those wire guides. Alright, so we're going to just pull them out of here. Pull that out of there. There we go. And just to set that aside. Oops, there's a black piece of tape that came out. I don't know where exactly that came from. I'll rewatch the video and I'll figure it out. Alright, so anyways, we're going to now remove some of these. So I'm actually going to leave the antennas attached to the wireless card, but let's go ahead and remove this screw up here. Okay, then we're going to remove the SSD screw. It pops up slightly at an angle. We're going to wiggle and pull it back. Take that out. Alright, same thing with the wireless card. Let's go ahead and remove that screw. Okay, now that we've got that screw out, the wireless card can pop up slightly. Oh, we're going to have to remove this connector first because the adhesive. So actually hold the adhesive out of the way, lift the wireless card up slightly, and then you can kind of use this raised part to pull it out, just like that. Right, unroute the wires here because we're going to have to route them into the new motherboard, and we're just going to put the wireless card out of the way. Right, same thing with this one. It's a pop-up connector, so get underneath and just pull it up, and that's for the USB port down here as well as the audio jack or headphone jack. Alright, there's the speaker connector here. We're gonna pop that out as well. Again, I just use my fingernails and I kind of just wiggle the connector. Eventually it just pops out. Right, then you got the keyboard connector here. Flip that latch up, and hopefully we can get underneath here and pull that out. I don't know if there's adhesive holding it. It seems like there is, so That's going to be somewhat difficult. I don't know how we're going to remove that. Let me use my thin plastic tool. Maybe that will make it easier to get out. All right, so let's see if we can get under here. This is kind of risky. There's not much room to pull this cable out. All right, so I'm going to try and scrape the adhesive out from under here. All right, so we're just kind of scraping the adhesive out. Okay. Want to be gentle with this. Work your way over. You don't want to just force it out because you don't want to damage this cable and then your whole keyboard's not going to work. All right, kind of sucks that they did that. Maybe I can just lift the motherboard out. I don't know. No, I don't think so. All right, so I guess we're going to have to try and just cut all that adhesive. So we're going to slowly work our way over. Slowly getting this adhesive out. I don't know if you can even see. All right, got some of it. Slowly work our way over. Okay, and there we go. All right, we got the adhesive out. Now let's go ahead and wiggle this and pull it back. You want to be careful with that cable. Here you can see the adhesive. All right, make sure everything's disconnected. All right, let's go ahead and remove the screw up here. Oops, sorry. Screw all the way up here. Okay, we're gonna take that screw out to move some stuff around. Right, remove this metal bracket here if we can. There we go. Set that aside. All right, what else we got in here? We got one more screw down here. All right, and hopefully that's everything. All right, let's see if we can lift the motherboard out now. I don't know if anything is holding it into place. I'm going to zoom out a bit here. All right, so usually the fans kind of get caught here, so let's see if we can kind of lift this up. Okay, so the fan loosened. You don't want to lift it by the fan because you don't want to damage this. I was just kind of separating the fan from the motherboard. Now we're going to pull up these cables and slowly lift everything. Hopefully there's nothing else holding it down. It feels like something's holding it down. There is a little latch here, so we are going to have to rotate it this way, it seems. All right, unless there's something else holding it into place. Oh, we also have to remove the rubber thing here. So if your motherboard has that, go ahead and pull that out. Okay. This is like a dock port, I believe. All right, so we got that out. Let's see, is it still stuck? Do we got any screws hiding somewhere holding it down? Not that I see. So it might be some adhesive. Okay, it's getting caught over here on the HDMI port, it seems. So can we lift this and then slide it over to the left slightly? Let's try and lift this up and see if we can pull it slightly to the left. Not really. What's holding this into place here? Okay, do I need to take this out? Let's actually take this bracket out then. So we'll take this piece out, that plastic piece that's on top. All right, get that screw out and see if we can take this off. Yes, we can. Is there... Oh, it's one of these. So we need to use a sim eject tool. You can use a needle or a pin if you want. Oh, it looks like a sim eject tool is not going to work. So I'm going to use this needle and I'm going to use that to kind of pull that out if I can. Can I pull this out? How do you remove this thing? Sim eject didn't work. Okay, it's slightly coming out, but not enough. Okay. So there we go. I had to just hook it and pull it out. I don't know if there's probably an eject thing all the way down there, but I didn't have a straight needle that's long enough. So there we go. Remove that plastic piece and then let's get this out. So this flips up and comes out just like that. Right. All right, let's see now. Can we remove this now? Still caught on something? What is it caught on? Okay, slowly lifting this up. All right. I don't know what it's caught on, but it feels like it's somewhere over here. Did I miss a cable somewhere? Not that I can see. Are there any cables on the bottom? There's a CMOS BIOS battery connector, it looks like, but that should be attached to the battery itself that will stick over here. So I don't see anything else that would hold this down. Okay, we're probably just gonna have to use a bit more force, so let's go ahead and try lifting it. And I don't want to just rip it out, so we're slowly gonna just apply a little more force. Okay, and there we go. All right, so I'm not sure what was holding it. It felt like some plastic or something, but there we go. Let's go ahead and slide it over to the left and pull this out. Okay, there we go. Motherboard is out. And here you can see the BIOS or CMOS battery. So they put it at the very bottom. So we are going to have to pull that battery out and swap it over. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, same thing. This has the little wings. I just grab the connector, kind of just wiggle it, and there you go, it pops out. Then you got this little latch that it goes underneath. You have to pull it away down here. And let's go ahead now and pull this out. Okay, they also taped this on top apparently, and there we go. So we got the old motherboard. We're gonna just set that aside somewhere. All right, let's go ahead and flip this over and swap the battery into there. Okay, so we're gonna get this battery back in. Line it up and pinch the two pieces together. Make sure you get the right sides to the right spots. So the red goes this way, the black goes that way. Okay, and we're gonna thread that back under, and let's see if we can get this back underneath this plastic stuff like before. Okay, just like that. Stick it on slightly. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now we're going to put the motherboard in. Hopefully everything else is still good. Okay, the hardest part about this is making sure all these connectors end up back on top. So you're going to have to kind of lift it and kind of keep moving things out of the way as you do this. So I'm going to pull these cables down here out of the way with my right hand. Slowly sliding this over. Okay. Get that into place. There we go. All right. Looks like that's right. Again, there's all these connectors, so we got to make sure everything ends up back on top. Make sure that's on top. Make sure this is on top. Okay. And as you pull other connectors out, other ones will go underneath, so make sure, okay, that you double check. See that cable stuck under there now? So we need to lift this up and get that out. Okay, got that. This. All right, I think we got all the connectors we need to get out. All right, let's start reconnecting everything and putting back the screws. All right, so fan is okay. We're gonna get these two screws in first. All right, make sure that these little raised mounts are going through the holes and aren't like pushing on the back of the motherboard. Okay, that's very important. All right, first screw, second screw down here. All right, we're gonna reconnect this. Just clip that into place. Then we're gonna get this connector. All right, line that up. Make sure the wings go over the raised bits. Okay, half of it's going in. What about the other? Come on. There we go. All right, it shouldn't take much force to get this in, so don't try to force it in. All right, now we got this cable. Just gonna, or the adhesive here, we're just gonna stick that back on top. All right, I don't know why they have that, but okay, we're just gonna put it back because that's how they had it. All right, now we got this screw that's in the middle here. Okay. All right, let's start reconnecting more things. So we got this connector here, flip that latch up, and we'll get that into place. Here we go, and flip that latch down, good. All right, next one, this one. Use that clear tab to help guide it. I know my hand's probably in the way, but you get the idea. Get that cable back in. Make sure the wings clear the raised mounts. Flip that latch down. There we go. All right, next we got this connector. Get that in. This one also has a tab, this black one. All right, make sure it's past those raised mounts. Okay, same thing, flip that latch down. Okay, flip this latch up. We're gonna get this one in as well. Okay, there we go. Flip that latch down. All right, LCD LVDS connector. Flip that latch up. Actually, we need to get this piece back in first, so let's go ahead and get this back on. Does this have a hook? Okay, so it hooks down there. There's those two raised areas. I don't know if you can see them. So you're gonna slide that into there. Okay, and then drop it down. I'm gonna put that screw back in. There we go. All right, don't forget this little piece here. We're gonna slide that in as well. There we go. All right, LCD LVDS connector now. Get that in. Okay, make sure it's in all the way. Flip that latch down. Good. All right, we got all these wireless antennas, so we're gonna get these wires to go over these. All right, back into these little silver mount areas, just like that. And then we're gonna get the wireless card into here. All right, I'm gonna use the edge to pull it in, kind of pinch the two together. There we go. Can try and use that raised bit to push it all the way. There we go, good. Okay, I think this is for the wireless card. Tighten that down. Alright, you can actually get these wires and put them back in those little routed areas. This one goes on the outside, the other one inside. It doesn't really matter which color where, but yeah. Right, so we're gonna guide that back. I don't know why, but before I think the blue one was outside, so we're just gonna put it the same way. All right, this one goes in that notch and the orange one goes in that notch. These cables aren't connected to anything, so you don't really need to worry too much. Let's go ahead and get the speaker connector in. Pinch the two together. There we go. Let's go ahead and clamp this back down. Make sure it's lined up. Click that into place. Excuse me. All right, and then get this clear tape up. Get those wireless antennas underneath again. All right, and then you can go ahead and stick that tape down. Stick this tape down. Then we got the keyboard connector. Make sure that latches up. All right, and get that keyboard connector into place. Okay, this one might be a little tricky. Set in. Okay, I think that's in. It's hard to tell. I don't know how far it needs to go. Okay. Okay, it feels like that's in, so we're just gonna leave it like that, I think. I accidentally put this in crooked, so let's get that back up. All right, there we go. And then flip that latch down. Hopefully that's in. We're gonna have to test the keyboard, of course. Okay, so this, I don't know, the adhesive, I don't like it. Maybe I should make the adhesive less sticky under there so that I can work on this better. All right, let's peel this back up. Right, let's just make this adhesive less effective. All right, and let's get this back in. Again, this cable is kind of tough. I don't know if it's actually in properly or not. It seems like it is because it doesn't go anymore, so I guess we'll leave it like that, and we'll leave this kind of crooked bit there. All right, so I think we got everything. This tape, I believe, is already there. Oops, the black tape that I lost appears to be already there. Hopefully you guys were able to see everything. All right, let's go ahead and put this little rubber piece over there. Just before, okay. We got a few more screws and brackets. Okay, so we got this one. Was it from up there? I think so. All right, so we'll get that screw back in. Okay, then we got this metal bracket here. So this one goes up here, right? How was that mounted there? I forgot how that was mounted. I might have to, was it there? Oh, okay, I see. There's that thing. So it mounts onto this. Am I seeing it wrong? No, I think that's right. Okay, so it mounts onto there. If I can get it to line up. There we go. And that slides under there. Good, perfect. All right, we'll get this screw in. Good. And then we got the last screw, which I believe was down here. Yep. Make sure you don't smash the wireless antennas when you put that screw in. All right. Then we got the SSD here. Get that, slide that into place. Okay. Then get that screw in. Good. All right, now we just got the battery to put back and the bottom cover, and if that was the issue, we should be good to go. All right, so we'll grab this, line it up, get that into place, push that up. Okay, make sure it goes in all the way. All right, make sure that the battery is also lined up and going into place properly. Okay, looks good. All right, so let's go ahead and get those 5 screws back in. I might need to get the charger for this one because I don't have this charger nearby, so I might have to get one. I don't think the customer left a charger for me, so I'm gonna have to go see if I have one. All right, so let's just get all these screws in first. Okay, oops. There we go. All right, now we'll just get the bottom cover on. You have to put this at an angle like this because of the little feet at the bottom. All right, there we go. And then go ahead and you can get that screw in. Okay, get that screw in. Okay, and we'll just work our way up here now. There is the battery or BIOS CMOS reset little pinhole there. So if you're wondering, that's what that's for. You can actually use a needle or a little pin to kind of push that to do a battery reset if you hold that for about 15 seconds. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and continue putting all the screws back in. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, and share my channel with others. If it helped you save a bunch of money, again, please consider helping out and supporting the channel. And let's go ahead and see if this powers up. But other than that, thanks for watching. Alright, I see the power light. That's a good sign. Let's see if the screen actually comes up. It might restart several times if it's a BIOS or CMOS reset, since the battery and the CMOS battery were all removed, or the power might not be sufficient, so I might have to plug this in. Let's see. I mean, the power light comes on. It goes on for a few seconds. Hopefully it's going to actually power up. There we go. That's good. So before it wouldn't do that at all. Here you go. It said to check the date and time and all of that stuff. And now it just shut back off. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, yep. Check date and time settings. Press F1 to continue. So, yep. We should be good to go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Alright. Let's drop this. Bye.